Okay, good afternoon students. In previous video, we have discussed about the chapter Animal Kingdom. In Animal Kingdom, we have studied about the chordates, non-chordates. In non-chordates, in the sense invertebrates, we have studied the phylums like Porifera, Coelenterata, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, Ascahelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, after that Unichordata. Then we have discussed about the chordata, the basic means fundamental characters of chordata, fundamental characters of chordata. Then we have studied about the subphylums which are come under the chordata, Cephalochordata, Urochordata, Cephalochordata and Vertebrata. After that we have studied about the general characters of what? The divisions and superclass classes. In the sense we have studied about the general characters of classes like Cyclostomata, class Chondrichthyes, class Osteichthyes. These all are come under the superclass classes. Afterwards we have studied about the Amphibia, Reptilia, apes and mammals. These four classes are come under the superclass Tetrapoda. And that completes our chapter Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom that contains those many what we have mentioned, that completes the Animal Kingdom chapter. Understood? And when we are going to discuss about the in meat class, I am going to discuss about a few peculiar characters of a particular phylum and particular classes that we will discuss in a when we are going to go for the meat class. Okay, that time we are discuss. We are going to discuss about the peculiar characters or unique characters of each phylum and each class. Okay, after the completion means in mid class. Now, in this particular class, we are going to start discussing, or we will start the new chapter under the unit 2, that is structural organization in plants and animals. Structural organization in plants and animals. In the sense, whatever the organization, in the sense, different kinds of structures, organs, their function, and all we are going to study in this particular chapter, in this particular unit. The unit name is structural organization in plants and animals. In this particular unit, second unit, today we are going to start with the chapter 5 named Morphology of Flowering Plant. Before starting the morphology of flowering plant, I would like to tell you the definition of morphology. Here, the morphology in the sense what? Morphology in the sense external appearance of plants as well as animals. When you are going to look at the plant or we are going to look at the animal, whatever the external appearance is there, and ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನು ಕಾಣ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಮಾರ್ಫಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಈಗ ನೀವು ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ಒಂದು ಯಾವುದೇ ಟ್ರೀ ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸೀ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಲೀಫ್ ನೋಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಸ್ಟೆಮ್ ನೋಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಫ್ರೂಟ್ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಫ್ರೂಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ, ಫ್ರೂಟ್ ಸೇಫ್ ಹೆಂಗೈತಿ, ಅದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಹೆಂಗೈತಿ, ದಟ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸಿ. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸಿ ದಿ ಫ್ಲವರ್ಸ್, ಓಕೆ, ಫ್ಲವರ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಟ್ರಾ. ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಮಾರ್ಫಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಫ್ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಏನಂತಂದಾಗ ಸಸ್ಯ ಸಣ್ಣದಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಸಣ್ಣದಿದ್ದಾಗ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು pick it out. Now ತಕ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅಂತಂದಾಗ we are going to see roots also. So these are the what we are going to call them as a morphological characters. Morphological characters in the sense external appearance of particular organism. That may be plant or that may be animal. Okay, and here another one thing is opposite to this morphology, what we are going to call that as a in chapter 5 morphology of flowering plant we are going to study. Here another one word is there. You are going to means you used to come across that particular word called as anatomy. Anatomy in the sense what we are going to study the internal structures, internal organs and their what the structure means particular organization, how they are made up of, what are the particular cells are there and all. You are going to study the internal structure. That is what we are going to call as anatomy. Now here morphology in the sense external appearance. Okay. Here another one point I am going to make clear to people. In morphology of flowering plants, in the sense flowering plants are come under angiosperms. Flowering plants are come under the angiosperm. And angiosperms are the plants which are well evolved, like how we human beings in the animal kingdom, we are the well evolved, or the mammals are placed at the top Last mammalia is placed at the top. Like that, here in plants or in plant kingdom, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperm, angiosperm. Angiosperms in the sense what? The other name for the angiosperms is flowering plants. In the sense these are means having a peculiar characters. These are bearing the flowers. These are bearing the flowers. So today in this particular chapter, chapter 5, morphology of flowering plant, we are going to discuss about the angiosperms. Okay, all the flowering plants are come under the angiosperms. Now, in this particular chapter, morphology of flowering plant, what else we are going to study? What else we are going to study? I will study here. We used to study the root. We used to study the leaf, the stem. In the sense, in detail, we are going to study about the root. Okay, in detail, we are going to study about the leaf. Okay, the stem. Next, the inflorescence. Inflorescence in the sense arrangement of a flower. Afterwards, we are going to study about the definition in detail. Then the flower. What kind of flowers are there? In the sense, here we are going to study, for example, unisexual flowers, bisexual flowers. That means the organs which are present in a flower. What are the different parts of a flower? All those we are going to study under the flower. The concept, the flower. Afterwards, we are going to study about the fruit. Then the seed. Next one is semi-technical description. Semi-technical description of a typical flowering plants. Typical flowering plants, semi-technical description we used to study. And last point we are going to study in this particular chapter, morphology of flowering plant, that is description of the some important families. We used to discuss 4 families here, important families, and we are going to discuss their general characters and importance of those families. This is what we are going to call that as a skeleton of this particular chapter, morphology of flowering plant. In this particular chapter, these many what we are going to call as a concepts we are going to study. Now, let us start with the first. Here I drawn one plant picture or a diagram. In this, what else we are going to observing here? The simple thing. Already I told you what in the sense the angiosperms or a flowering plant consists of leaf, flower, buds, and nodes and internodes. Here I written the nodes, and in between that we are going to get the internodes, stem, fruits, etc. And we used to observe root also. Now here, when we are going to look at the angiosperm plant or a flowering plant, that time we used to study 2 systems in that particular plant. One is a shoot system, another one is a root system. When we are going to study or what are the parts which are above the what we are going to call as a ground level or a earth. Okay, above the earth, the parts which are there in a plant which are above the ground or a earth, that particular complete system is called as a shoot system. And this shoot system includes stem, internode, buds, nodes, fruits, leaf, flower, etc. And below the ground or the part which is entered into the ground or ground ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು ಅಥವಾ earth ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು part ಇರ್ತೈತಿ ಎತ್ತರ part plant that we are going to call as a root system. That we are going to call as a root system. In the sense, root system, there are the different kinds of root system. Here I explain, means I written on the board or I drawn the plant. This is we are going to consider as a dicotyledonous plant, because here I written the root system like primary roots, okay, secondary roots, tertiary roots, etc. Understood? Like such primary, secondary, and tertiary roots are not found in a monocotyledonous plant. This is we are going to means whatever I draw the diagram, it is a dicotyledonous plant. So I told you here about the shoot system, that is what above the ground level, that we are going to call as a shoot system, SHOOT, shoot system, and below or underground part of the plant, that we are going to call as a root system. Okay, now in this particular chapter, directly we are going to let us start with the first point, that is what? Root. First point, that is what? Root. In root, what else we are going to study? Now, the majority of dicotyledonous, here when we are going to study about the root, that time we used to what we are going to call that as a, we are going to give importance to the two types of plants. What are those in the sense? Dicotyledonous and monocotyledonous. Dicotyledonous and monocotyledonous. DICOTYLEDONOUS. This is very important. We are going to remember this. What we are going to call it as spellings. Dicotyledonous and monocotyledonous. Now, I am going to draw one simple structure like this. Here, this is the structure of dicotyledonous. ನೀವು ಕಾಣೋದಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಈಗ ದ್ವಿದಳ. ನೀವು ಸೇಗಾದು ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅದರೊಳಗೆ ಹಿಂಗಿರ್ತೈತಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಕಾಣ್ತೈತಿ. ಸೊ ಈ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು and above what these two cotyledons used to get plumule, the plumule, and below the dicotyledon means embryonic axis. Below the embryonic axis we are going to get the radicle. Radical. This radical is to grow as a root system or a root, and this plumule is used to grow, means is further grow into the stem. ಇದೇನಾಗಿ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಸ್ಟೆಮ್ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಶೂಟ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆಗಿ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. That is what plumule, plumule, and this is the radicle. Now here when we are going to study about the root, in dicotyledonous plants, how the root system is there. Now here the root dicotyledonous, this radical is long-lived. This radical is a long-lived, and it is grow into the what we are going to call it as a ground, and it is this radical act as a primary root. This act as a primary root. What I told you, the direct elongation of radical. This elongation in the sense ಒಳಗಡೆ ಅದು ಉದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾಕೋದು. elongation of a radical. Elongation of radical. Nodri concept ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ. elongation of a radical is elongation of radical. The elongation of a radical leads to the formation of primary root. Elongation ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಇದು ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ primary root ಅದು. Then next, like this, the roots are going to develop. Those are called as a secondary roots. Okay, a primary root ಇಂದ ಏನಾಗ್ತವಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ you are going to get the lateral roots for the several orders referred as a secondary roots, and further these secondary roots are going to form a tertiary roots. TERTIARY, tertiary roots, etc. Understood? Like this, what we are going to get in dicotyledonous, there is a radical. The radical is elongation of a radical directly into the soil, and that elongation of radical leads to the formation of primary roots, and for the primary roots we are going to get the lateral roots. Those are called as secondary roots. Afterwards again the lateral roots we are going to get, that is the tertiary roots. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ರೂಟ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಒಂದು ತಯಾರಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಬ್ರಾಂಚಸ್ ಆಫ್ ರೂಟ್ಸ್ we are going to get in a dicotyledonous plant, and this particular type of root system is called as a taproot system. This particular type of a root system is called as a taproot system. The primary roots and its branches constitutes the taproot system. What we are going to write the definition for taproot system? The primary root and its branches, commonly called as a taproot system. Okay. Now here the taproot system is present in a dicotyledonous plants, and the taproot system is nothing but radical. This you are going to remember. The radical is directly elongation of a radical into the soil, and that is developed or that leads to the formation of primary roots. And afterwards the lateral branches used to develop to the primary root. We are going to call them as the secondary roots, then the tertiary roots. So here the primary root and their lateral branches collectively are constitute what? taproot system. This is about one type of system when we are going to study about the root. That is, first one is a taproot system. Okay. Now here in monocotyledonous, what is the condition in monocotyledonous plants, or what happens in a monocotyledonous plants in the sense, this radical, it is not long lived or it is not going to elongate. What is going to happen? I am going to draw the diagram and say, suppose this is a stem. Okay, and here you are going to means this is developed from the plumule, and from radical what is going to happen? From radical, the radical is going to elongate in a dicotyledonous, but in monocotyledonous, this radical is short-lived. This radical is short-lived, and what is going to happen in the cells? In monocot, you are going to get many roots which are going to develop from the base of the stem. Many roots are developed from the base of the stem. In the sense, in monocotyledonous plants, the primary root shoot is lived. Okay, primary root shoot or a radical is short-lived. Radical or a primary root shoot is short-lived and replaced by, and that is replaced by number of roots. Those are originated from the base of the stem. Those are originated from the base of the stem, and these are going to form a fibrous root system. These are going to form a fibrous root system. Okay, ಈಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಯ್ತು ನೋಡ್ರಿ. taproot system ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ಏನ, the radical, elongation of the radical into the soil, and that leads to the formation of primary roots. Then primary roots, the lateral root or the branches are going to develop, secondary roots, tertiary roots, etc. And here the primary roots with its lateral branches collectively called as a taproot system, or it constitutes the taproot system. In monocotyledonous plants, the primary root, this root, which is means it is formed by the elongation of a radical, that is short-lived, and it is replaced by many roots. It is replaced by many roots, and these roots are what developed from the base of the stem. These roots are developed from the base of the stem, and such type of root system is called as what? Fibrous root system. That type of root system is called as a fibrous root system. So here one thing is clear: in dicotyledonous plants you are going to get a taproot system. In monocotyledonous plants you are going to get the fibrous root system. Now, what is going to happen in some plants like grass, monstera and banyan? In some plants like grass, monstera and banyan. Banyan ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಏನು ಯಾವ ಗಿಡ ಅಂತೀರ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಈಗ ಆಲದ ಮರ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. Banyan, grass, monstera and banyan. MONSTERA. Grass, monstera and banyan. In these plants, the roots are arising from other parts of the plants rather than radical. What is going to happen in these particular plants? In the sense, examples: grass irbodu, monstera irbodu, banyan irbodu. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಡೈಕಾಟಿಲೆಡೋನಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಮೊನೊಕಾಟಿಲೆಡೋನಸ್ ನಾವು ಪದೇ ಮಾತಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆದವು? ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿ radical. But here what we are going to call it as a grass, monstera and banyan, roots are developed any other part of the plant. It clear what I am telling you? In grass, monstera and banyan, the roots are developed from any other part of the plant rather than radical. Any other part of the plant, what? Rather than ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಹೊರತುಪಡಿಸಿ, rather than radical. Radical ನ ಹೊರತುಪಡಿಸಿ radical na ಬಿಟ್ಟು apart from radical, rather than in the sense apart from radical, the roots are developed any other part of the plant. Such type of root system is called as adventitious root system. Adventitious root system. And this adventitious root system is found in a grass, monstera and banyan. Understood? So these are the basically three types of root system we are going to study, and they are mentioned in your NCERT book. One is taproot system, another one is fibrous root system. Taproot system is found in a dicotyledonous. Here the radical is elongated, and that elongated radical is reached to the primary root, and afterwards for the primary roots you are going to get the branches, secondary, tertiary, etc. and primary root with their lateral branches constitute the taproot system. In second, the primary root is short-lived and many number of roots are developed from the base of the stem, and that constitutes the fibrous root system. And next one is, in some example like grasses, monstera and banyan, the roots are developed from any other part of the plants rather than radical, rather than or apart from the radical, and that leads to the adventitious root system. Understood? These are the three types of root system you are going to remember. And next now, what is the main function of this root? Okay, what root is to do? The main function of root system is to absorb the water and minerals from the soil, absorb the water and minerals from the soil, and give the proper, what we are going to call that one as a anchorage to the plant parts, supporting the reserve food material and synthesis of means photosynthesis. They are going to prepare the means what it is going to go for, or not photosynthesis, synthesis of plant growth regulators. Plant growth regulators. In the sense, main function of root is to absorb the water and minerals, and giving support to the plants by anchoring into the what? Soil. Anchoring into the soil. This is about what? The root. In next class, what we are going to study in the sense regions of the root. In next class, we will start studying the regions of the root, and modification of a roots. Okay. Now, in today's class, I am going to stop here. We have studied still for so far the morphological characters of a plant, and we have studied the shoot system, root system, and in the root we have studied about a monocotyledonous root, dicotyledonous root, their taproot system, fibrous root system, then adventitious root system. Okay, I will stop here and I will continue in a next with what we are going to call it as a portions of the root. We are going to study regions of the root. I will stop here. Thank you.